Hello, everybody. Welcome to At America TV. My name is James, one of the e-guides here at America, and we welcome audience members joining us online. We hope that you're doing well and stay safe. At America is the United States Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn more about the United States. In this episode, we'll be having the road to the Super Bowl. But before we begin, let's break the ice with a little game. Which state will host the Super Bowl of 2022? Is it Washington State, California, Wisconsin, or New Hampshire? Stay tuned until the end of this program because we'll be giving a live shout out to whoever can answer correctly on our social medias. Other than that, don't forget to take a selfie and tag at America's Instagram account. And now, without further ado, let me introduce everyone to one of our facilitators for today, Mas Fadil Arik Saputra, the founder of NFL Fans Indonesia. Mas Fadil, the stage is yours.
Ya, terima kasih buat openingnya. Balik lagi sama gue Fadil, host kalian di Road to Super Bowl 56 antara Cincinnati Bengals melawan Los Angeles Rams. Let's go! Wow, ini Super Bowl yang ya mungkin yang satu timnya ini timnya untuk kedua kalinya ya, beruntun main di home. Satu lagi nih tim yang musim kemarin QB-nya cedera parah, tapi gila ini QB ya. First overall pick, main di Super Bowl. Jadi ini mungkin Super Bowl yang disukai banyak orang karena timnya pada suka dibanding sama mungkin musim-musim sebelumnya. Nah, jadi ini adalah road to Super Bowl keempat kita sama At America. Jadi kita sangat berterima kasih banget. Gue mewakili NFL Fans Indonesia. Terima kasih banget buat At America yang sudah memprovide buat menyelenggarakan acara ini lagi. Jadi sesuai visi kita akan memasyarakatkan NFL. Jadi lewat At America kita bisa menuju ke visi itu. Jadi untuk acara kali ini karena nanti Super Bowl 56 tanggal 14 Februari yang berarti itu adalah hari Valentine. Nah, jadi lu bisa nonton Super Bowl bareng orang kekasih lu, mungkin sama pacar lu, sama istri lu bisa, atau sama suami lu bisa. Nah, jadi kita akan kedatangan 3 speaker kita. 2 orang ini mungkin kalau kalian main NFL Fantasy, yang udah main NFL Fantasy, nah udah ngerasain kan kerasnya NFL Fantasy dibanding fantasy yang lain tuh. NFL itu lu bisa ibaratnya nih darah tinggi lu tuh bisa naik kalau misalnya kalahnya tuh tipis atau pemain lu yang udah lu draft tinggi nggak bagus. Nah itu tuh kerasnya NFL Fantasy. Nah jadi 2 orang ini mengisi acara di Zero Bust. Yang pertama gue akan memperkenalkan Raffiandra Putra Andika, salah satu host di Zero Bust, dan juga yang baru pertama kali nih muncul di acara kita sama At America, ada Alvin Caputra di sini. Nah, jadi welcome to the event guys. Apa kabar?
Gue opening Zero Bust. Welcome back guys. Buat yang dengerin Zero Bust tuh tahu openingnya tuh.
Kalau kalian misalnya ini menang karena Zero Bust, nah nih berterima kasih lah sama 2 dari 3 host Zero Bust inilah. Dan satu lagi, as usual, we have a very very special speaker from Embassy. He is one of the most avid Cowboys fans who why Dak Prescott did the QB draw. I still wondering until now. Mark Neighbors. Hello, Mark Neighbors.
I was hoping we could just ignore what happened if we ever speak of it again. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So yeah.
Traumatized.
Ya, jadi kalau kalian udah pernah ngikutin acara kita dan udah tahu Mark Neighbors adalah salah satu fans Cowboys. Nah, jadi kalau gitu langsung aja ya kita mulai acara Road to Super Bowl 56.
Yes sir.
Oke. Jadi musim 2021 ini yang satu ini yang tadi gue bilang satu tim padahal diunggulinnya terlalu rendah tapi toto masuk Super Bowl, gimana ceritanya ini? Yang satu lagi ini pakai mentalitinya all in ya. All in.
Bener.
Kenapa all in? Karena tim ini buang semua draft pick, bahkan ya, ini satu tim ini nih Rams itu baru punya first round draft pick tahun 2024. bukan 2023. Oke, gila ya Rams ya.
Nah, udah 7 tahun berarti ya. Nggak ada first round.
Yes, Rams haven't their first round pick since they drafted Jared Goff, which is he is in Detroit Lions.
So he got drafted and he got traded, but the Rams didn't get any first round pick.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But the result of the trade is great though. They traded Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford, and Stafford brought them to the Super Bowl at their home. Although although Rams technically designated as road team because last year NFC is the home team, so this year NFC is the visitor. But still, they are playing at their home stadium, SoFi Stadium.
Wait, so the Rams will play in the visiting team locker room?
I don't know. Maybe. I guess
that's a good question. I imagine they probably let them stay in their regular lockers, but who knows? Maybe they have rules about that.
Oke. Mungkin dari ini, mungkin untuk slide-nya bisa ditampilin. Nah, so here's our presentation for Road to Super Bowl 56 next. Okay, so this is our outline for our event today, 2021 NFL Fans Indonesia Fantasy League review. And then 2021 NFL season review, Super Bowl preview, and Q&A. Next. Okay, so before we start our presentation, we will introduce ourselves first. So we are NFL Fans Indonesia, the biggest NFL community in Indonesia. Next. And we were established in 2013. We are the fastest growing NFL fans community in Indonesia. We have 6.6K and 2.7K followers on Instagram and Twitter respectively. Also, 1,100 and counting members online open chat. Okay, next. Okay, so here's our first topic, the NFL Fantasy League review. Yang tadi gue udah bilang ini, lu serius deh. Lu kalau udah main Fantasy Premier League, NBA Fantasy, dan Fantasy lain-lain, belum ada apa-apanya sama NFL Fantasy, beneran. Serius.
Fadil curhat.
Iya, serius, karena gue pernah kemarin gue cerita dikit ya. Kemarin gue sempet winning streak. Oke, winning streak udah enak nih. Gue udah peringkat 1 nih. Tahu-tahu losing streak gue nyaris nggak masuk playoff. Nyaris aja. Tapi ternyata ada fortune favors to me and I went to playoff, but unfortunately I lost.
You're just like Steelers last year though.
Please don't remind it again. So, Alvin, how was your result of your fantasy league in 2021 season?
Okay. Hello, Mark. We are in one league.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was terrible this year. All my receivers and tight ends got injured in like week 2. I was at the bottom of the bottom. I was in another league too where I actually did much better, but unfortunately for this one that matters, I was pretty pathetic this year.
Yeah. I was watching your team, and then everyone got injured, and you just have Chris Carson on your team, and then Chris Carson got injured too. So
yeah. No, it's true. I think, I by the end of the year, I was using 5th or 6th receivers from Jacksonville. It was bad.
I think this year's is one of the worst in terms of injuries in the NFL for fantasy. Some names came up like, I don't know, Cordero Patterson suddenly become one of the biggest weapons in the NFL.
Yes.
Right.
So,
maybe the biggest unfortunate was when Derrick Henry injured.
Yeah.
That was That was very unfortunate for you, who drafted Derrick Henry in maybe first round, and then he suddenly injured at week at the middle of the season.
Middle of season.
And when you see the waiver, so who is this player? I don't know who. So
Exactly.
It's unfortunate for you who drafted Derrick Henry.
And of course, the consensus number one pick, Christian McCaffrey, once again.
CMC.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, I don't know
For
why
the second year in a row, he's not really performing at his best.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, he got injured in his hamstring again, right?
Yeah.
Terrible. Maybe for next season, CMC will not become the consensus first overall pick again. Maybe
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, because oh my God, Jonathan Taylor. Maybe, we can discuss Jonathan Taylor later.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, but I must steal CMC in the second round.
Oh, CMC. Oh, oke.
That's
Oke. Mungkin buat lanjut lagi, Pin, lu pas di fantasy kemarin itu finishnya keberapa dan hasilnya gimana?
Oke,
Kan ada finishnya berapa atau menangnya consolation. Consolation itu bahasa Indonesia harapan. Juara harapan. Partisipasi.
Jadi kemarin di Liga 7 ya, bareng Mark juga sama Chef Juna ya, ada Chef Juna juga satu liga. Tuh,
gue potong
Chef
dikit.
Juna aja main fantasi.
Gue potong dikit. Chef Juna aja main fantasi. Lu kapan? Makanya tahun depan, oke. Nah, tahun depan kan kita bikin Liga Fantasy lagi, langsung ikutan. Oke? Nah, lanjut.
Oke, sama Chef Juna, terus ada Mark. Tuh, gua finish urutan 4. Jadi masih masuk playoff. Tapi langsung kalah di first game playoff.
Oh.
Tapi akhirnya finish 3 sih ujung.
Finish ketiga ya. Oke. Andra, how was your fantasy performance?
Sebenarnya mirip-mirip sama punya lo, Del. Jadi sempat I was on a hot streak. I play in NFL Fans Indonesia Liga Champions. So if you don't know, it consists of the previous year's champions and runner-ups, and also 2 of the zero bus hosts, which means me and Alvin in the league. So I was doing really well until maybe 3 weeks before the final weeks. After that, the losing streak comes in, the injuries came in. At some point, I was the number 2 seed in my league, but at the end of the regular season, I am in the 6th. I missed the playoff.
No.
But did you win? Did you win the consolation?
I don't know. I don't really pay much attention to consolation. I mean, who does? I mean, who really pay attention to consolation? It's only
No one care.
It's only the real payoff that matters. So.
Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the growth of NFL fantasy in our league. In 2018, we have 2 regular fantasy league, and 2019. We jumped into 5 regular fantasy league because of huge anticipation of those who didn't get their chance to play at 2018. So we bumped it up to 5 fantasy league. 2020 we added 1 champion fantasy league, and finally in 2021 we added another 3 regular fantasy league. So we have 8 regular fantasy league and 1 champion fantasy league. Maybe in 2022 we will make 10 regular fantasy league. I don't know.
Maybe
because 1 league consists of 12 teams, right?
Yeah, 12 teams.
See, in 8 regular fantasy league, which means we have 96 players.
96
so
managers.
2022 maybe 120 player in fantasy.
Yeah.
For a chance
it may happen.
Yeah, maybe. So, unless your anticipation is high, so we will make 10 league. So go zero bus. and of course, one more thing. If you play fantasy league again, you have to watch Zero Bus because, well, NFL has their own fantasy expert, but yeah, you know the results. Like I don't need to tell the name because you already know who yang ini ya, yang kasih saran pemain A mainnya jelek. Jadi Zero Bus aja. Okay?
We don't need to name names though.
We don't need to because you already know. Okay, next. Nah, so how is the 2021 NFL Fantasy League doing? Gimana Pin sama Andra ininya? Bedanya, the difference between 2020 and 2021. Andra dulu, Andra first.
Oke, ini sekalian semacam episode penutup Zero Bus ya. Jadi karena kita belum bikin episode penutup, so we're gonna close the season at America. So how's the NFL Fantasy League doing? I think in terms of NFL Indonesia Fantasy League, it went really well. Banyak managers yang pas awal pendaftaran itu masih nggak kebagian liga di NFL Fans Indonesia, jadi ada beberapa yang bikin swadaya Fantasy League sendiri. So I think next year if we want to make 10 Fantasy Leagues, we can do that based on the hype and the anticipation by the managers itself. But so far the community is growing in NFL Fans Indonesia. Everyone really have a good time. Everyone really have fun. So me looking back at the 2021 Fantasy League, I think tomorrow and next year is gonna be even better.
Okay. If I'm not wrong, if the manager finish last, they have to do some dare, right? Like throw dare. Kalau nggak salah ini peringkat terakhir harus ngepel ya?
No.
Oh bukan ya? Oh beda ya? Oke, harus ngepel.
Bukan.
Nah itu mungkin kalau ada dealing di ini ya, satu liga gitu ya.
Benar.
Kan
kalau di kita belum
ya. Karena jadi tuh kalau gue jelasin dikit ya, di NFL Fantasy itu ada komisioner. Jadi itu komisioner itu yang punya liga. Oke, ibaratnya tuh dia yang mengawasi nih kalau misalnya bikin trade aneh-aneh, ini nggak boleh. You cannot do that trade gitu. Jadi tergantung dealing dari liga-liga sendiri. Kalau misalnya peringkat terakhir ada disuruh ngapain ya ikutin. Tapi kita lihat aja buat next season ya. Okay, so next question for Alvin. Vin, why you should play? Why NFL fans Indonesia and maybe another sports fans should play NFL fantasy? Why?
Because in Indonesia we watch NFL in like 12 a.m. So it's in the middle of the night. If we don't play NFL fantasy, we're gonna get bored watching the NFL. If we watch fantasy, every pass, every run, every rushing touchdown, it's gonna be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Every intercept, like, oh yes, that's my point. That's
That's true.
And then you not only watch your favorite team, because in fantasy you draft every player, not just because I love Patriots. I only draft N'Keal Harry, Mac Jones, which have a good point right there. So so because of fantasy, you can get better on NFL too, because you know more about other player in other team. And then buat teman-teman di Indonesia ya, buat temen nonton gitu, biar tambah seru nontonnya, jadi nggak bosan, tambah wawasan tentang NFL dari fantasy juga.
Fantasy.
Oke. Nah, jadi kan pasti.
But you know what, Dil? If I'm a Cowboys fan like Mark, I'm gonna make a fantasy lineup full of Cowboys player.
Will you do that, Mark? Will you do that?
Well, I mean, if I wanted to be in last place again, yes. If I want to drop passes and make terrible play calls.
Oke. Jadi gini ya, tadi Alvin bilang benar. Pemain NFL itu kan banyak banget. Kalau lu bandingin dari NBA, dari ini ya, 4 major sports of in USA like NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL is way more player. So you don't know which player is good in one team, which one is bad. So the alternative is playing NFL Fantasy. Because karena misalnya lu ngedraft pemain nggak tahu nih, ternyata pemainnya yang udah paham, gila lu ngedraftnya jago, padahal lu nggak ngerti. Nah, ntar lu pelajari pemainnya, oh iya jago gitu. Bener. Sama ya tadi bener kata Alvin. Itu buat menemani lu menonton NFL biar makin seru. Karena kalau misalnya nih lu ngedraft Jonathan Taylor bikin 2 touchdown, lu kan seneng sendiri, makin seru kan nonton NFL.
Betul. True.
Jadi kenapa lu harus main NFL Fantasy? Okay. Before we move on to next slide, if you want to ask any question about NFL, about prediction, or about basic of NFL, you can, if you watch in social media, you can type in comment. Okay.
Yes.
If you watch in YouTube, just write it down your question in YouTube comment. We will read your question and we will answer it at the end of event. Okay. Next slide. Nah, ini. This is our host, our lovely host, ya. Two of our Zero Bus fantasy podcast is in here. Are in here. Sorry, Raffi Andra Putra Andika and Alvin Syaputra and Julian. Julian lagi nonton ya sekarang ya.
Lagi nonton.
Ya, jadi gantian dulu lah ya,
Iya. Sekali-sekali Zero Bus diganti Fadil hostnya. Maksudnya hari ini.
Tapi nanti ya. Gue gilar deh. Oke. Next. Okay. We will we will review our 2021 season. Next slide. As you can see, there is a Brady. Brady. Before we discuss these two players, we have to give our gratitude to and thanks to Tom Brady because
to the GOAT,
Tom Brady.
And I feel old right now. Because Tom Brady retired, my QB Big Ben retired, all of my childhood quarterback are now retired. So yeah, I'm officially an old man. I can accept this reality. No.
True. Only Aaron Rodgers is left.
Yeah, only Aaron Rodgers left, and
maybe
we don't know.
Gone too.
Yeah, and we don't know where will he go because after the match when he got beaten by 49ers. Yeah, he said that I don't want to be part of rebuilding. So we don't know where Aaron Rodgers go. But I want to ask Mark. Mark, what was your reaction when finding out Tom Brady retired?
I had my suspicions when earlier in that
week, me too.
He talked about, he said, I was satisfied with the way things went. And I was like, I think that's the first time in his life, at least any of us have ever heard him say satisfied, right? He's always been like, I want more. I got to go back in there. I want to win again. I want, I've only played, one perfect game in my career. I want to play, I want to keep playing until I hit that, hit those marks again, hit those milestones. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm satisfied with things. And I thought, well, if he's satisfied, then this is a different Tom Brady. If he meant it that way, and I'd never heard him talk that way, I thought, oh, you know what, this might actually be it. And I mean, the Bucs cap situation is pretty problematic.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of other guys who are veterans too. I mean, Gronkowski is hurt a lot, and he has a lot of mileage on him. Leonard Fournette and guys like Ronald Jones, Le'Veon Bell, they've been in the league for a while. Chris Godwin got hurt. And so, and obviously your best friend Antonio Brown had and ran away. So I don't know that it would have been a great situation to come back to anyway. So I think maybe he was like, you know what, this is the signal. This is time.
Yeah. So and then I will ask these two Patriots fans who lived and breed Tom Brady. 6 championship from Brady to Patriots. I wanna ask Alvin first, Finn.
Yeah.
Did you cry when Tom Brady retired? Or what was your reaction?
No, I'm just happy for him. I mean, 6 Super Bowl for Patriots, that's more than enough, man.
Yeah.
And then the 7 on the Bucks, I'm happy for him too. Even he didn't win it with Patriots, it's okay. But you know, if in NBA there is LeBron James,
Yes.
LeBron James fans, big fans, wherever he go. I mean, we are the Brady fans that did the same too. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy for Brady.
And I think it helped too that, you know, the reason they lost against the Rams, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his job to cover Cooper Cup up the middle.
Because when Bucks against Rams, they are behind 27-3, and Brady almost did the Falcons again. Oh my God! My heart.
As it was happening, I was like, he's really going to do this again, isn't he?
And he did. But unfortunately, Cooper Cup was guarded by just one defensive back. That was a big mistake. If Cup was double team, maybe Brady did his greatness again and again and again. But it's already happened. So
that's a very Brady-X final game.
I agree.
Very Brady-X final game.
But Andra, I want to ask, when you found out that Brady was retired, which stage were you in the stage of denial?
I completed the 5 stages.
You completed the 5 stages.
I completed the 5 stages of grief. I mean, all right, let's start. Denial. Tom Brady was playing at an MVP level this season. 5,000 yards, leading in passing yards, leading in passing touchdowns. You don't think that a player that plays at this level would be like at the end of the season would be like, all right, I mean that's enough, I'm retiring.
He doesn't.
He's waiting for him to be good, to be bad, to retire, but he's never been bad at all.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I mean, I completely believe that if he won it, he still can play until he's 50. But
because again, his age is 44. He
44.
led in passing yards and passing touchdown. I mean,
passing yards is the Brady's career high.
Yeah, career high. Yeah,
career.
Exactly.
I mean, who else can do that in 44 age?
Yeah, you set the career high in your final year of playing.
Yes.
It's just insane.
He retired when in his peak performance. I mean, wow.
He never fell off a cliff.
He's the undisputed GOAT. Undisputed. 7 rings, 44 years old, still playing like young quarterback. I mean, so thank you so much, Tom Brady, for
thank you, Tom,
for giving us your greatness in your 22 years of career. And we're still glad because there are lots of young quarterbacks right now, right? Like, especially in AFC, like Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, who will play in Superbowl, Lamar, Mac Jones. And other. Jadi buat kalian yang baru nonton NFL, kalian tetap beruntung walaupun Brady-nya pensiun, QB mudanya ini lemparannya. Mungkin nanti di Pro Bowl harus ada ini kali ya, lomba lempar jauh kayak zaman dulu kali ya.
Zaman dulu.
Jadi beruntung lah kalian yang baru nonton NFL. Nah, sebelum next slide lagi-lagi gue kasih tahu ya, kalau kalian mau tanya apapun tentang NFL, prediksi, pernyataan, dan mungkin basic NFL tentang peraturan dan lain-lain, langsung tulis di komen. Kalau kalian nonton di Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook dan lain-lain di @Amerika, langsung aja tulis di komen, nanti pertanyaan masuk kita bacain di akhir eventnya. Oke, sekarang kita masuk ke ini nih, topik selanjutnya. Well, in this season we have 2 players who won Triple Crown. If you watch MLB, you know Triple Crown is when a player won the leading in hit, home run, and RBI, right? In NFL, we have 2. The first one is Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup, Cooper Cup is... I'm speechless watching Cooper Cup because comparing from previous season to now, Cooper Cup is way upgraded, you know.
Yeah.
Because he led in reception yards, and reception touchdowns. Insane, Cooper Cup.
That's what a simple quarterback change can do for your career.
Yes. And remember, the quarterback is Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford helped Calvin Johnson break the record of receiving yards when he was in Lions. Exactly. And now he helped Cooper Cup reach Triple Crown.
Right.
Yeah, like, wow, Cooper Cup. Mark, do you think Cooper Cup is the best wide receiver in 2021 season, or maybe other player like Devante Adams or Justin Jefferson, the greedy? I'm still learning that greedy dance, you know. Do you think Cooper Cup is the best wide receiver in 2021 season?
I mean, I think, you know, the numbers speak for themselves, and I think what sets him apart too is he's kind of the perfect balance of he can beat you up the sidelines with speed and quickness, but he can also go up the middle and make tough catches there.
Yeah.
You know, and he can take the punishment of getting hit hard and still holding onto the ball. I think he's sort of the best combination of all the skills, at least right now. I mean, I think, you know, I don't think his crown is going to keep that for very long because, I mean, even if you look at DeMar Chase and just how quickly he got amazing by the end of the season, there's going to be some other receiver kings. And, of course, you can't forget Tyreek Hill is still unbelievable in a lot of ways. But the Chiefs, the way they work it, you know, Kelsey is the guy who makes the tough catches up the middle. Tyreek is the guy up the sideline. So Kupp kind of does a little of both. And so, I think overall he's kind of the most well-balanced receiver. You definitely, if he's not the top, he's, you know, top 2, top 3 at the very least. But I'd say probably number 1 because the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah. Gue mau nanya ke Alvin dulu ya, Pin. Kalau fantasy wise ini kalau nggak salah Cooper Cup paling tinggi ya fantasy point ya?
Paling tinggi dari semua posisi.
Paling tinggi ya, berapa? 400-an poin ya total ya?
400 poin ya.
Wow, gila.
Gila. Kalau punya Cooper Cup udah nggak usah bingung start sheet, di start terus aja.
Betul, start aja terus ya. Udah bisa kayak ini ya, start and forget aja ya. Karena Cooper Cup tuh rata-rata per game bisa 25 poin ya.
Nah, keren sih tapi Cooper Cup. Maksudnya sebelum Robert cedera ya. Maksudnya dia punya partner WR juga.
Iya.
WR yang bagus lah gitu. Kayak
Robert Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Waste your time with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so bitter. You pay that guy so much money and he does nothing for us.
CD Lamb did better than Amari Cooper.
Yes, I'll take CD Lamb anytime. Even when he drops the ball, I still would rather have him than Cooper. Maybe 1 out of every 8 games he shows up and reminds us that he's still playing.
Dan juga ini ya, at the end of season, suddenly Rams acquired Odell Beckham Jr. As the replacement of Robert Woods. So but again, even though Rams added OBJ to their roster, Cooper Cup's numbers are not declining, still going up. Oh my God, Cooper Cup. And then Jonathan Taylor from Indianapolis Colts. He won his Triple Crown in rushing stats. Most carries and most rushing yards and most rushing touchdowns. Mark, do you surprise with Jonathan Taylor? Because at the first half of season, Derrick Henry was like he's uncatchable.
Yeah.
And then injury comes, then Jonathan Taylor played great, and both of them are in AFC South.
Exactly.
But do you surprised with
I
Jonathan
was a
Taylor?
little surprised, also just because they have Carson Wentz at quarterback, and I figured you figure they're gonna they know that Carson Wentz can't beat them through the air, so they're gonna stack with 8 men in the box all the time, and the fact that he's still pushing them off. I mean, it's actually similar to Derrick Henry, right? I mean, Ryan Tannehill doesn't scare a lot of people, so it's the same thing. The fact that these guys can still get all those yards and get it in the end zone like that, despite the fact that they're getting just crushed because the quarterback is no threat to throw the ball. It's just really impressive. Yeah, he was. But I didn't really know much about him before the season started, so he was a nice surprise. Yeah.
Andra, I have 2 questions for you. One fantasy wise and one for season wise. Okay, for fantasy, do you think Jonathan Taylor will become consensus first overall pick for fantasy next season?
I don't know about consensus, but the majority will take Taylor to number 1. The majority will take his number 1 because you still got Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
If Derrick Henry's healthy,
the number's gonna be if healthy.
Yeah,
there's always something about that first overall pick in fantasy, Saquon, CMC.
Yeah, Todd Gurley.
Okay. Second question, Dra. We know that NFL MVP is for QB. Okay, it's even though wide receiver played great, even though running back run very further, like his stats is booming like that. Still, the MVP will be awarded to quarterback. But if NFL change their mind, maybe they open their mind with other position, who is more deserved to win MVP? Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor?
That's a really hard question, though.
We'll ask Mark and Alvin too after you. Okay.
I think it's Jonathan Taylor, the MVP, just because the title is most valuable. I think that you're having a really above. I think Carson Wentz is above average quarterback. So you're having above average quarterback in your team, and then you're putting your whole team basically on your back, your whole offense basically on your back. So Jonathan Taylor achieving all those, it's really good. It's really good. They're just narrowly missing the playoffs, but we're not talking about the playoff, about MVP award. So I take Jonathan Taylor as MVP and Cooper Kupp as Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, Pin, who do you choose if NFL wants to award the MVP between Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor?
I think same with Andra. I'll pick Jonathan Taylor. Same reason, because Jonathan Taylor really carried Colts all the way. Because the wide receiver Michael Pittman, just a so-so wide receiver. Busy with his YouTube, I think. And then for MVP caliber, I think Jonathan Taylor is more deserved than Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp have a better QB like Matthew Stafford. I mean, Matthew Stafford is a great passer, just in the wrong team for
his 10 plus season. For his 10 plus season, Okay.
So Jonathan
Taylor. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think with Cooper Kupp, obviously he's incredible, and anyone would have him. But that team, just at wide receiver, you've got Beckham, you've got Van Jefferson, Tyler Higbee, even that guy Blanton, who caught 3 passes or something. In the NFC Championship, caught like 6 or 7 passes. All of a sudden, he was good. They got Cam Akers in the backfield and Sony PlayStation Michelle. So, they have so many weapons that it's inevitable he's going to get open and he's going to get a lot of chances at getting targeted by a good QB. Whereas, the Colts are much more bare cupboard, and so Jonathan Taylor has to do a lot more. And it wasn't his fault that they lost to Jacksonville in that last game. That was clearly Carson Wentz who.
Yeah.
So, they would have made the playoffs if they even play half decent against Jacksonville at the end of the year.
Yeah. out of any teams in the league, they lost to the Jets. To the Jaguars.
To the Jacks, yeah.
Why? Oke. Sebelum next slide lagi, gue kasih tau lagi buat kalian yang mau nanya tentang apapun NFL, langsung aja terus di komen, nanti pertanyaan masuk kita bacain di akhir event ya. Oke, next slide.
True.
Next slide. Oke, another record. Another record for defense ya. Tadi kan offense. Nah, defense.
This is for Fadil and Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only way we can be happy this year.
Yeah, at least there's something that I'm happy for. So because TJ Watt tied single season sack record that was held by Michael Strahan in 2001. TJ Watt made 22.5 sack in 15 games because he didn't play two games.
Two games.
Yeah, he missed 2 games. Even though NFL added 1 game, but still, in 15 games compared to Michael Strahan, who was playing full season in his record-breaking season, still, I'm not speaking subjectively. I'm still objective, okay?
Bias.
I'm not biased, but it's still impressive though. 22.5 sack with that with team that I don't know where will they go after Big Ben retired. So, I'm glad TJ Watt after he got paid as most expensive defensive player in the NFL, he proved that he is the best pass rusher in the league.
Bill,
yep.
Didn't he have 1 sack that is nullified by the the last game?
Yeah, when facing Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Jadi itu ceritanya snapnya botch ya, nggak jelek snapnya. Bolanya diambil sama Tyler Huntley. Nah, Tyler Huntley itu pas ngambil bola, dia kayak mau lari. Nah, TJ Watt nge-sack, bolanya lepas. Tapi sama NFL dihitungnya force fumble karena setelah dilihat lagi Tyler Huntley itu intentionnya bukan lempar, tapi lari. Jadi, coba dihitung.
Sayang sekali.
Sayang banget. Tapi nggak apa-apa ya, penting tie the record ya. Nah, max player, Trevon Diggs.
Yeah, he was
tied single season interception franchise record in Cowboys history with 11 interception. But Mark, although
Jesse Jackson better.
Yeah. Because I have one stats that I think Jesse Jackson's better than Trevon Diggs, because even though Trevon Diggs made 11 interception, he has allowed most yards in NFL. Dia kebobolan yardnya paling banyak loh, kena burn mulu. Nah, Mark, but regardless his most allowed yards, what do you think of Trevon Diggs' performance?
Yeah, I mean, I was pleased with it because he's shown some real improvement from his rookie. I mean, he was decent his rookie season, but it's clear he's got a lot of talent. He's great, and he works well in the Dan Quinn defensive system. It is true, though, he's very high risk, high reward, because he goes for those interceptions a lot, and because he takes a lot of risks, he does tend to give up big plays, even to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy, oh my God,
embarrassing. But yeah, I'm really happy with him still, especially because compared to the defense of 1 season ago when every game was just a nightmare of just giving up yards and points, it was good to see the improvement. I think he'll keep getting better too, especially with to keep the same coordinator, and he's So he's got a lot of skill, but there's some things he could work on. But combination with him and Micah Parsons, the Dallas defense has
Micah Parsons.
has some very good guys playing for them that I think will keep us in good shape. Now, if we could just change the head coach, everything would be good.
But Mark, about Dallas coaching, okay? Dan Quinn and Dallas offensive coordinator Kellen Moore had some interviews with other team, but Dan Quinn already said that he is staying in Dallas. What about Kellen Moore? Because I still remember Kellen Moore playing in Cowboys, but all of a sudden he's an offensive coordinator. I'm like,
yeah,
how come? But he already had an interview with other team. Do you think there's a chance that Kellen Moore will move to other team, or he's still staying under Mike McCarthy?
I think there still might be a chance. The latest rumors are he's not going to get any of the remaining 3 jobs, but it's not completely decided yet. I think he's a bit overrated, to be honest. He's got some cool tricks that he tries, and there's some interesting innovations, but I think a lot of times he gets too clever for his own good. You know, sometimes just running the ball with the running back is the right move, and then other times, of course, when there's no timeouts left.
Mark, especially that one, okay? That QB draw against 49ers with no timeout left. What was your reaction when Doug Prescott didn't pass the ball to the referee, and then and then the ball snapped, but the time
had already run out.
Ran out. What was your reaction? Are you screaming, angry, or what?
I thought I was going to throw up. It was a perfect summary of how the Cowboys played at the end of the season. It's just really how they play in December and January every year. Is they always start off strong, and I think like, okay, maybe finally we're just going to figure it out. But instead, he just it was incredibly. I mean, I understood what he was trying to do. You know, you're trying to gain some yards, but it's just having that awareness of how much time is actually on the clock, right? I mean, seeing it the next week with Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds left. I'm granted they have timeouts, but like that's how you run it. Or even Matthew Stafford against the Bucks, you know, as he's running down the field to spike the ball so they can kick the field goal. You could see he knows exactly how much time there is. He knows you got to hand the ball to the official. He's getting everybody lined up. Dak just seemed confused, and it's clear that they didn't practice a play like that ever before. And it was just like, oh, let's just go for it. And Kellen Moore has a problem in that he likes to do stuff like that a lot, where they have these cool trick plays. Maybe they've tried it once in practice, but they don't. Anyway, they don't ever actually try it until it's too late in the game situation. So
So Mark, is it on the play calling or on that?
It's a combination of both. It's a perfect. But I tend to blame it on the coaching more because they're the ones who need to be drilling it in. You know, when you're practicing your 2-minute drill, it's the coaches who have to be like, hey, you've got to be better about managing the clock. You've got to remember all of these things if we're moving down the field and we don't have that much time.
Situational football.
So,
yeah, exactly. It's just, and it's typical of the Cowboys. You can see it in
and I'm sorry, Mark, for
penalties and all of this stuff. They play sloppy and they don't pay attention to the little things, and this is why they haven't gone anywhere in 25 years.
Oh my God. Okay. For Mark, I'm so sorry to say this, that Cowboys haven't reached to NFC Championship since 1996, and this is one fact that I still mind blown, since Eagles kicker David Akers said this in draft. Since Cowboys didn't reach this NFC Championship, the 2021 rookies weren't born yet. Jadi tuh terakhir Cowboys masuk championship game itu rookie tahun 2021 belum lahir.
1996.
1990 terakhir kan musim 1995, berarti kan nggak masuk 1996.
Yeah. I haven't even born yet.
Anda even born yet? Oh my God, come on.
Yeah, it's been a long run. I mean, when I was a young kid, it was amazing. We were constantly in contention or winning. And then, yes, as I get older, those memories get farther and farther away.
Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, as we said earlier, Tom Brady and Big Ben are retired.
We haven't talked about Ben, Bill.
Oh yeah,
How
Ben.
do you
okay.
feel? How do you feel when he finally
did you
got that?
You tear up too?
When I was watching NFL for the first time, I watched Super Bowl 40 when Steelers won the Super Bowl, and Big Ben was like the player who introduced me to NFL. So when I found out that Big Ben is retired, man, I cry, absolutely. Especially his last home game against Browns, and they won.
Right.
Because I grew up watching him from his second season and until his last season, which is this season. So I want to say thank you to Big Ben, who gave us 2 Super Bowl rings. And we don't know who will be his replacement, Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins. Just go for it because this year's quarterback prospect are, I don't know who is the best. I don't know, because
Bryce Young is in 23, right?
Bryce Young in 2023 is the same as CJ Stroud from Ohio State.
And Caleb Williams, who was on Oklahoma.
Caleb Williams, yeah. So
he's got a couple more years too.
Yeah. So if you ask me who is the better replacement for Big Ben, I'd say I'd rather they play either Rudolph or Haskins or find another veteran quarterback. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. If Jimmy Garoppolo goes to Steelers, it's fine. But I'd rather we suck in 2022 and then get high draft picks so we can draft maybe Bryce Young or Caleb or any good quarterback that is clearly on top of the good list. Not like this season, because I don't know who's the best quarterback in this season. This draft. I mean,
this year they should focus on just rebuilding the offensive line.
Because oh my God, their offensive line is terrible. It's really terrible.
It might be a good idea to play under Mason Rudolph for 1 year. For 1 year.
Yeah. And
they backup, he's not great at a lot of things, but he's not terrible either. He's very consistent.
So I'd rather Steelers draft offensive line in the first round. So they can build a good offensive line and then they draft a good quarterback. So we can go back chase that AFC North, because Joe Burrow, to be honest, even though I hate Bengals, I want Joe Burrow to win the Super Bowl, because after his devastating injury from last season, and then he goes to Super Bowl for this season, and of course he will lock the comeback player of the year for the season. Of course,
sure.
I want him to win the Super Bowl, because if he wins, that means the standard in AFC North has reached a new bar, because there are Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, any Steelers quarterback, and Baker Mayfield. Oops, sorry.
The Steelers should build around Najee Harris.
Yeah.
Build around Najee
because they will go back to their root as the power running
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like they were in with Franco Harris in 70s.
Franco Harris.
Right. That's classic Steeler football.
Yeah.
Power run.
Yeah.
And
Next,
because it will be good for fantasy football also, yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, because Najee produced a lot of fantasy points, right? In the season. Yeah. So yeah, let's build the offense around Najee, so fantasy owner can draft him, and he will produce lots and lots and lots of fantasy points.
True.
Next slide, please. Yeah, now we are in playoff. As you can see, Cincinnati Bengals versus Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium. Mark, if let's make a prediction, okay? Let's make a prediction.
Ready?
Okay.
All right.
Who do you think will win? Bengals or?
I've been going back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah, I couldn't. The Rams' defensive line is so vicious. I mean, those guys, when they get after him, they're absolutely mauling quarterback after quarterback. And the Bengals' offensive line is not great. I mean, Burrow takes a lot of hits back there. That said, he has seems to have a skill that doesn't seem to bother him when he gets hit that hard. He just seems to get right back up, or he refuses to go down. My head says Rams because on paper they've just got the dominating team on both sides of the ball, and they play well in all three phases of the game. But my heart's with the Bengals. You know what? I'm going to do it. Fine, this is ridiculous, but Bengals by 3.
Bengals by 3. Wow. Okay, but
I should also note, though, last season, or at the beginning of the season when we did our prediction show, I said the Rams were really overrated and weren't even going to make the playoffs. So I'm an idiot. So nobody out there should listen to my prediction.
Okay. But before I ask Andra and Alvin, Mark, from this year's playoff, which match do you think is the best match? But and of course it's in divisional round, because divisional round this year is bananas. Oh my God, 4 matches.
Yeah,
all until last seconds.
Yeah, I mean they were all great. I think. I mean, just that Kansas City Buffalo one was
Kansas City Buffalo. Yeah,
that was. I've just never seen anything like that. It was so well played. I mean, it was like watching a boxing or a UFC title fight where both fighters are so good that you're like, it's actually a shame one team has to lose, because neither team deserved to lose that. They just both played so well. So I think that was super exciting. That said, I mean, yeah, the Tom Brady comeback was pretty spectacular. I mean, it was just a great playoffs overall. I was really, really excited. I mean, this is why we watch.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay. Andra, prediksi siapa yang bakal juara Super Bowl 56 sama pertandingan di divisional round mana ya? Gue nggak mau nanyain Patriots ya lawan Bills ya kan.
Gue juga
nggak perlu bahas
itu.
Gue nggak mau, nggak usah itu. Yang pasti divisional round yang best round. Nah, yang pertama dulu, Dra. Bengals atau Rams di Super Bowl 56 nanti tanggal 14 Januari jam 6:30 pagi. Sebelum gua lanjut, buat kalian yang belum cuti dan lain-lain,
betul,
buruan deh, Super Bowl itu sekali setahun loh. Ya.
Pasang alarm juga.
Alarm. Nanti kesiangan. Nonton highlights tuh beda sama nonton live. Beneran. Nah, Dra, Bengals atau Rams?
Yeah, just the same as Mark. This is a kind of a difficult matchup to predict. Rams by all kind of metrics. Kalau kita ngomongin angka, the Rams get all of it gitu. Offense, defense, the more efficient team, Rams got it all. the both side of the ball. Apalagi kalau kita ngelihat matchup tahun lalu di mana I mean Chiefs have the better offense, but offensive line-nya kan sangat-sangat hancur gitu pas di Super Bowl tahun lalu, and we know how decisive offensive lineman defensive lineman battle in a game like the Super Bowl. So I think that the Rams will win it, but I want Joe Burrow to win it. It's just insane because I mean Joe Burrow gonna be in the league for a long time. He's gonna dominate the AFC maybe with Mahomes and the other AFC quarterbacks for 10-20 years in the future. Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, maybe this is one of the rare final chance for them to win the Super Bowl. So I think they have the higher stakes to win the Super Bowl, and the team that have the higher stakes might be a little bit more motivated coming to the Super Bowl. So I think the Rams will win the Super Bowl just because they're complete on either side of the ball. I don't think I mean Burrow can beat them by one-on-one matchup with Jamar Chase and the other quarterbacks of the Rams, but it's the battle of the offensive and defensive line that I think will decide this matchup. If Burrow got hit too much, meanwhile the Bengals cannot hit Stafford or pressure Stafford even once, they're screwed. So yeah, I think the Rams will win this matchup.
Okay. Mark said Bengals.
Yeah.
And Andra predict Rams
you
will
should
win.
Listen to the other people on the panel more.
Okay.
It's not like that, man.
Oke. Sebelum gue tanya Alvin, ini ya, lagi-lagi gue ingetin buat kalian yang mau nanya apa tentang NFL atau mungkin prediksi Super Bowl, nanti kita bacain prediksi Super Bowl ya.
Boleh.
Bengals atau Rams, tulis aja prediksi siapa yang bakal juara dan tulis kenapa ya. Oke. Nah, Pin.
Ya.
Oh ya, Andra, gue baru inget tanya satu lagi, sorry Pin, satu lagi ya, Dra, di match divisional round, gue nggak mau wildcard sama championship karena divisional round gila banget kemarin. Match mana yang menurut tuh the best of 2021 NFL playoffs?
Gue sebenarnya pengen bilang Buffalo sama Chiefs, but Niners sama Packers sih nggak ada yang nyangka sih.
Yeah.
No one really predicted the Niners to win against the Packers, even though the record shows that Aaron Rodgers against Niners is 0-4, in the playoff. 0-4 in the playoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Niners did everything perfectly, time management, terus they didn't. I mean, Jimmy G contributed, but it's more like the Deebo Samuel, the George Kittle, the Elijah Mitchell of the world that decided this matchup. So it's just a little bit unpredictable how the NFL goes. How Jimmy G can beat Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame Aaron Rodgers. I blame their special teams. Packers fans know this because Packers special teim in this season was
were they the worst in the
special
league?
Team,
I think Packers special team are the worst.
One of the worst.
This is one of the worst this season.
Definitely.
And they just fired the special team coach which was the right decision because all of 49ers win from my perspective was because first, Mason Crosby's field goal was blocked before first half. Then their punt was blocked too and then recovered for touchdown. Oh my God.
Their special team really doesn't make them feel special.
One thing too with that game though was Aaron Rodgers did try and target Devontae Adams way too many times.
Way too much. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's just a trust issue. Maybe he didn't feel like his other receivers could get it done in the clutch, but he was forcing a lot of throws into double coverage,
double teams.
and if he had just kind of gone with the open guy, maybe he has a little better offensive game.
Or if Rodgers have a little faith in the receivers winning one-on-one matchups, the other receivers winning one-on-one matchups, could have been a little different.
Yeah.
Oke. Pin?
Ya.
Rams atau Bengals?
Ya, kayak yang tadi yang dibilang Max. On paper, Rams have a better talent. Kayak ada Von Miller yang juga join.
Oh iya.
Rams, Von Miller, and then Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. On the last minute, they put Eric Weddle too.
Ah iya, Eric Weddle.
Yeah.
Iya,
Back from
gue
out
jujur
of
ya.
nowhere.
Iya, sorry gue potong ya. Eric Weddle. Gue kira tuh NFL memes, kayak lu tau kan kalau lu follow NFL memes kan suka iseng ya bikin postingan breaking news ya kan. Gue kira nih NFL memes bikin berita tuh, lah ini NFL yang ngepost. Eric Weddle udah pensiun dari 2019, disuruh masuk main lagi. Dan masuk Super Bowl. Kemarin championship game dia leading tackle.
Nah.
Gimana Pin? Kalau prediksi lu?
Ya, on paper memang Rams. Karena ya secara talent memang punya baik offense dan defense. Rams punya pemain yang lebih talented dan experience yang lebih bagus di Super Bowl. Tapi karena gue bias sama Burrow ya, gue beli jersey LSU nih tahunnya Burrow juara nih.
Kasih lihat jersey. Depannya. LSU tuh.
LSU. Jadi gue dukung Bengals sih. Bukan prediksi, tapi gue pengen Bengals juara karena apa? Karena last year Burrow got hurt so much.
Injured.
Injured so bad gitu. Terus seeing him come back from his injured and then going to the Super Bowl, that's so awesome. Comeback player of the year for sure. And I think he's gonna win Super Bowl. Sorry, fans Rams. Sorry.
I mean, the one thing about
as crazy as me.
No.
Okay, gimana, Bro? Continue.
The one thing about Joe Burrow is his ball security is really good. He got sacked 9 times
against Titans.
But he doesn't really turn over the ball from fumble, right? He didn't really have a fumble. So his ball security is okay, even though the offensive line of the Bengals is not really protecting him well, and he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. So I think based on that, if the Bengals defense can do just a good job stopping the Rams at some drive of the third or maybe fourth quarter, I think if it comes down to quarterback versus quarterback in the last few minutes of the drive of the fourth quarter, my prediction can change. It can be Joe Burrow winning the whole thing.
Okay.
One thing too is that guy, what's his name? Evan McPherson. The
rookie kicker.
Money
McPherson.
Adam Vinatieri, just a guy who the perfect kicker for the playoffs.
That's good.
Imagine if Joe Burrow's second year is winning the Super Bowl based through the field goal of Evan McPherson. It's Brady 2001 all over again.
It feels like Brady won his first Super Bowl in his second season.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe
Bill, how about you, Bill?
Maybe Bengals dynasty. How about me? Again, like I said earlier, I hate Bengals, of course. Steelers is Bengals division rivalry, of course. Yeah. But I do, Mark. I'm sorry. I do really want Joe Burrow win the Super Bowl. I do really want him to win because, to be honest, Joe Burrow has the swag,
Yeah.
Did you remember when he arrived at stadium before facing Chiefs? He wore that Nike bling diamond, and then after the game, a reporter asked him, "Is that real?" Jawabannya, ya iyalah bener, asli. Gue udah punya banyak duit, masa belinya KW. And he got the swag. he has his attitude of keep playing great under pressure, and he showed it when he faced Titans. And I want to correct Burrow threw one interception against Bengals, but Tannehill threw for interception. Why Tannehill? So I predict that Bengals will win, but in very, very close fashion.
So 3 Bengals and 1 Rams.
Wow.
3.
I did not expect this at all. I thought I was going to be alone.
It's about the heart and the head.
Yeah, that's
about what I want.
It's just, to me, the Bengals just have some kind of magic.
Yeah.
So much swagger, and it just everything seems to break right for them. So I have a feeling. But
because out of nowhere, Bengals suddenly goes to Super Bowl, and when I see this matchup again, I see like two philosophy facing each other. Bengals capitalizing on young offense, but spend a lot of money on defense against Rams that use the all-in mentality. They waste. Right. They gave away their first round draft picks
for experienced talent
trade, and they prove it works. So yeah, we'll see these two different philosophy in Super Bowl 56.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Next slide.
Okay.
I think we already did the preview with our prediction. Next slide. Okay, so, well, who's gonna win in Super Bowl 56? Joe Burrow and the Bengals, or Matthew Stafford and the Rams? 14
It's
February.
gonna be funny if it's the Burrow who wins. It's gonna be Rams 2001 again.
Yeah, of course.
All the talents, and they lost to a QB that's gonna be one of the best QB.
One of the best QB in this generation. So yeah, Super Bowl 56 will be played on 14 February 2022, 6:30 a.m. Ini ya WIB ya, waktu Indonesia Barat. Jadi buat kalian yang nontonnya di waktu Indonesia Tengah atau waktu Indonesia Timur bisa langsung adaptasi ya. Menyesuaikan ya. Oke, next slide mungkin atau nih terakhir ya. Ini ya, buat preview lagi. Kita bacain profil dikit ya buat 2 tim yang akan bertemu. So Los Angeles Rams with their all-in mentality. Los Angeles Rams will play in Super Bowl at their home stadium, which is the second straight Super Bowl that a team play in their home stadium. Last season, Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium, and they won. A complete team with elite talents on either side of the ball, like Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, and others. Okay, and Bengals, the young guns from Ohio, led by Joe Burrow, finally reached the promised land. Cincinnati Bengals are one of the youngest teams in the league, led by the quarterback and his trustworthy connection from college. LSU again, LSU connection, Jamar Chase. So the decision to draft Jamar Chase at the draft was effective.
Yeah. I remember.
Andra, can you tell the story of when you disagree with that pick, and then wow.
I mean, I remember back then that I was really against the Bengals picking Jamar Chase, not because of his talent. I know Jamar Chase gonna be one of the best receiver coming out of the draft. I know his talent and what he can really do, but the Bengals have urgent needs in the offensive line, so I thought it's gonna be wiser if they pick one of, if not Penny Sewell or Rashawn Slater at the draft. But it proved that connection is even more important than protection. So.
Okay.
Dude, I want to ask, next year Super Bowl, where will it be played?
Next year Super Bowl will be played 8, State Farm Stadium at Glendale, Arizona, the home of Cardinals.
Maybe we should move it to Dallas.
Oh, why? Why
So
move
we
it to
have-
Dallas?
So we have 3 years in a row. So that Cowboys can have a chance to play the Super Bowl.
That's just
Raymond
cool.
James, SoFi, and then maybe.
And then AT&T.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, well, if we fire Coach McCarthy and hire Sean Payton, then maybe we can have this.
Oh yeah, Sean Payton.
Oh,
Yeah, Sean Payton is available. Maybe
I know.
Jerry Jones change his mind.
Let's
maybe.
hope so.
Okay. Next slide. Okay. So
Yes.
of course, Super Bowl has
Yes.
halftime show, and this year's Super Bowl halftime show will be packed, especially for you who are hip hop fans
Exactly.
like me. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and of course King Kendrick
King.
Lamar will perform at halftime show. Oh my God! This
Already
is-
shaping up to be one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime show.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This will be a memorable halftime show in
Absolutely.
Super Bowl history ya. Oke, next. Oke, tadi
Terus
kita
dan-
ada prediction ya di awal.
Mungkin
Jadi
Q&A ya.
mungkin kita langsung aja ke Q&A ya. Oke,
Yes.
Q&A ini udah ada beberapa pertanyaan yang masuk. Tapi ada satu komen. Ini ada komen dari @Igdepras katanya Trevon Diggs is overrated, inconsistent, leads interception but reception allowed yards allowed is too much, blown coverage. Agree, Mark, with that comment?
Yeah, he's high risk, high reward. It's very exciting, and it's nice to be talking about a Cowboys defense that isn't just terrible and embarrassing all the time. But he's right. He's right. He gives away too many big plays, and it's to quarterbacks who shouldn't be making big plays like Jimmy G. So, and actually, frankly, the whole bunch of other quarterbacks they shouldn't be giving up big plays to. But I feel like he's going to get better. He seems like the kind of guy. I mean, just if you track his improvement from his rookie year to this year, he already got so much better. He just needs to a little more discipline. Maybe not go for the home run, pick six every
Every
ball. Just sort of stay within himself a little bit more, and I think he'll be a good player for a really long time.
Oke.
He's only in this second year, so
Yeah,
His second year.
exactly. I mean, it was a huge improvement from the rookie season. So I feel like he's got a good long career ahead.
Okay. Now we answering the question. First one from Aditomo. He asked, "Are DBs like Trevon Diggs will be prevalent in near future?" Mark, do you think DBs like Trevon Diggs will be like common in future, which like lots of interception, but still like
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still, the way college is coaching and stuff, I still feel like, sort of the Jalen Ramsey model is what
Jalen
we're
Ramsey.
looking for. Guys who are maybe a little bit bigger and stronger than Trevon Diggs. So maybe they don't get quite the same number of interceptions, but they tend to be able to intimidate the wide receivers a little bit more and make it tougher for them to get open, and they don't give up the kind of big plays. That's what I mean, that tends to be the emphasis of all the big college football programs still.
Okay. Next question, maybe this is the question that we will discuss a bit further and maybe a bit long.
all right.
It's about the overtime rule.
Yeah.
Overtime rule that is very controversial, which happened at Chiefs versus Bills and then Chiefs versus Bengals. This is a question from Arditya Bayu. What do you think about the current overtime rule? Should it change? Pin, peraturan overtime harus diubahin nggak? Nggak. Kenapa?
Karena sebenarnya defense juga punya kesempatan buat ngeberhentiin offense. Dan kalau mereka ngeberhentiin defense, otomatis mereka skor field goal aja udah bisa menang juga kan. Kayak kemarin Bengals gitu kan.
Ya, betul.
Ya, jadi sebenarnya itu equal, cuman masalah apa tinggal kayak POV fansnya aja sih gitu loh. Mungkin yang bilang itu timnya kalah di OT gitu. Jadi menurut gua udah seimbang karena sebenarnya defense juga punya chance yang sama offense gitu loh. Karena if defense stop offense on the first drive, they only have to score field goal. So yeah, it's already equal. Ya kalau offense kan harus touchdown ya, karena kalau offense field goal masih bisa main kan, yang tim defense-nya jadi offense masih harus main gitu. Kalau sedangkan defense itu bisa intercept kayak kemarin ya, ngelakuin turnover, mereka dengan field goal aja bisa. Jadi menurut gue udah imbang-imbang aja sih, tergantung fansnya timnya menang apa enggak di overtime. Itu ya.
Tergantung fansnya aja, kalau kalah
menurut gue sih.
Iya. Mungkin kan kalau gue lihat kan kalau kalah nih komplain, kalau menang ya lanjut. Ya kan? Nah, tapi buat Andra, buat lo apakah peraturan overtime harus diganti?
Gue sebenarnya masih bisa ngelihat itu dari dua sisi ya. Kenapa harus diganti? Kenapa nggak harus diganti? Kenapa nggak harus diganti? Selain karena kata Alvin udah adil, it's already fair enough. It's about the healthy reasons. It's about the healthy and safety reasons for the players gitu. NFL players are really vulnerable to injuries, long-term injuries. So one drive, 1 minute of the play can change your whole career basically.
Yeah.
So, adding another drive to overtime, is it worth it? The healthy and safety regulations. But about if it needs change, because at least the two teams have to play offense and defense. Sama-sama harus main offense sama defense. Both of them have a better chance to score. Mungkin salah satu harus touchdown, salah satunya lagi juga harus touchdown. So, where all people can think of. But I think for now it doesn't need to be changed just because.
Okay. Andra said it doesn't need to be changed. Mark, do you think overtime should be changed?
I think certainly for the playoffs, I think it needs to stay the same.
It needs to stay the same.
For the risk of the players, it's just it takes too much out of them if they have to play too much extra time. I think it's not good for the health of the players and kind of the quality of the play. You worry about that, like if they play too long, then the next week for the next playoff game, are they completely worn out and they can't overcome that against their next opponent. I think in the regular season, maybe you could test things out. Maybe you can try something where both teams get a possession. But it's the classic thing. It's the rules are set out pretty plainly. If you can't stop a team from going 75, 80 yards to score, I don't know if you really deserve to win that game anyway. I feel like if your defense is good enough, you should be able to disrupt things. So I'm glad it's not just the field goal kick anymore. I felt that was pretty unfair, because then you're not really, especially because kickers have gotten better and better. You only have to go 30, 40 yards and then just kick the ball 56 yards away. That's not really football. But scoring a touchdown is still tough in the NFL if you're playing against a good team. So I think for the most part it's fair. Maybe you can tweak it a little bit in the regular season just to see how it works. But certainly for the playoffs, I think it was exactly what it needed to be. Because it always tends to be, at least for me, I hate the overtime rule when my team loses in overtime, and then of course, like if they win in overtime, I'm like, oh no, everybody had a chance.
Yeah, of course.
So because of that, it's like, okay, well, clearly, if it's making me mad when it doesn't go my way, but it's making me happy when it does, it's probably about right.
Okay. So how about you guys? Do you think overtime rules should be changed? You can comment in here or our social media. Okay. Last but not least, from Uncle Panda. So, any panelists, I think all panelists, because this is last. Which team will... There are 3 quarterbacks in this question, yeah. Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Deshaun Watson will go. I'll start with Mark. Mark, Aaron Rodgers, do you think he will move to another team or staying in Packers?
If he goes to another team, which I don't think he will, because I feel like he's a lot like Brett Favre before the real break with the Packers. I think he's maybe got one more year where he'll be like, okay, fine, I'll come back. Maybe next year he changes his mind, but I think he's got one more year. But if he goes anywhere, I mean, he did just buy a house in Nashville.
Yeah. Will he go to Titans?
So, I mean, and that's a pretty good landing spot for him. You know, they've got a great running game. They've got pretty good receivers, well coached, good defense. He would have to do less. But the only problem is, I don't know that I'd want to. I mean, the AFC has all the good quarterbacks, so it's like whether it goes to Titans or Steelers. You know, I don't know that you'd want to have to go through all of those good quarterbacks. The NFC is, you know, Dak Prescott is like the second best quarterback in the conference. It's terrible. He shouldn't be, but there's just not a lot of talent there. It's just Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, basically, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Garoppolo, where do you think he will go?
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Because I mean, him going to Tennessee or something like that makes no difference. Because Tannehill and Garoppolo, you could probably just they both have long last names and they throw a lot of interceptions.
Where do you think Jimmy Garoppolo will go? Will he go to my team? Maybe I don't know. But what do you think?
Want him? I mean, actually, you know, he wouldn't be necessarily terrible on Pittsburgh because then they could really go back to a power run game, which is true. He works well in a run heavy offense because he can just make short, safe throws. I just worry about with that wind in Heinz Field, whether the passes that he throws that are so wobbly are just going to in the other team's hands very easily. But yeah, I guess maybe Pittsburgh. And then what was the third? Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
I don't even know if he plays next year. I mean, he's got some really bad legal issues going on. If people want to Google what's up with that, I don't know that it's appropriate to talk about on the show. But he has a lot of serious legal issues, and I'm not even sure next year whether he'll be able to play. I don't think he'll be able to play the full season. He might get suspended for part of it and then have to play a little bit. So I think it's tough to say because you'd be willing to say you're giving up draft picks for a guy who may not play the whole season or at least will only play a few games. That said, if you had to pick a team just on skill, he should go to Miami. Because I think Tua is maxed out and he'll be fine as sort of a novelty, but he's too small and doesn't have a big enough arm. I think if Miami had a better quarterback, they'd be able to compete in that division against Josh Allen and Mac Jones. We don't even have to talk about the Jets because they're not.
Well, Jets, you know, if you know the reference, Bing Bong. Oh God. And last for Andra and Alvin because we are nearing the end of time. Just pick one team from these three quarterbacks. Rodgers, Andra dulu. Andra, Rodgers, where will he go?
Broncos.
Jimmy Garoppolo?
Ini yang susah sih. Belum ada rumor yang kencang, but I think Washington gonna make a move.
Washington.
Washington gonna make a move.
Commanders,
ya, the new team name ya, baru ingat ya. Washington baru namanya Commanders. Siap dan. Siap dan.
All right, sir.
Deshaun Watson kemana Andra?
Yes, I don't know if he's gonna play. I don't know if he's gonna play.
Pin terakhir Rodgers kemana Pin?
Gue nggak tahu ya Rodgers sama Garoppolo kemana. Yang pasti kayaknya ya salah satunya sama kayak Andres ke Washington.
ke Washington ya.
Salah satu ya antara Rodgers or Garoppolo, one of them gonna be in Washington.
Oke, Watson udah nggak tahu lagi kemana ya.
Watson, don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So
I really
that's
hope Rodgers doesn't go to Washington. We'll be dead.
yeah.
He'll embarrass us twice a year.
And I hope none of the good quarterbacks go to Miami too, because
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, that makes it tough.
Because Buffalo and New England needs teams that they can beat.
Yeah, you need automatic.
that's the
Or-
Jets though. That's the Jets.
Oh, that's okay.
That's our free bye. That's our free bye week.
Free by
Yeah, you get extra.
Udah free dapat 1 win lagi ya.
yeah.
Dapat win lagi. Oh my god. Okay, so that's the end of our road to Super Bowl 56 preview. Thank you, Alvin and Nandra, and of
Thank
course
you.
Mike Neighbors
Thank you all.
for joining us in this event. Thank you so much for all of you who watch from Instagram, YouTube, and other social media from @America. And yeah, don't forget Super Bowl 56, 14 February, 6:30 AM WIB. Jadi buat sekali lagi gue bilang kalau kalian belum urusin cuti dan lain-lain, urusin deh beneran. Sekali setahun. Nonton highlights tuh nggak enak, nonton Super Bowl. Harus nonton live. You have to watch it live. Okay?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for paying attention, and I will give this back to @America. Thank you for all of you.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to our speakers, Mas Fadil, Mas Alvin, Mas Rafiandra, and Pak Mark for today's very informative session. It's been great having you guys with us. Earlier in the event, we asked audience members a question. Which state will host the Super Bowl of 2022? And the correct answer to that is option B. Super Bowl 56 will be held at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. And shout out goes to @Cowboys Indonesia from Instagram for answering correctly. And thank you to everyone who has participated. Don't forget to tune in next time for another chance to get a shout out from us. Now you may be wondering, how could I develop an awesome idea for a place like this? It's very easy. All you need to do is go to our website at www.atmerica.or.id, select create a program and click collaborate with us. All event proposals coming to us will be reviewed and your event might be featured here soon. You can also subscribe to our newsletter for all our weekly updates. And that's it. That wraps this episode. It's been fun, but we have to say goodbye for now. Follow our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at @ATAmerica for our fun contents, event updates, and so much more. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. We'll see you next time, and goodbye.